Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to convert any logos, graphics or pictures to vector curves in Affinity. I'm going to start with a simple logo, then a bit more complicated graphic, and lastly I'm going to show you how to convert a picture. To start, you just choose whatever picture you want, and then you have to make sure that you are in the Vector Studio, and then you can go on Vector and click on Image Trace down here. After you clicked on Image Trace, there will be a window where you have several options to choose from. You can choose the edge threshold, the curve fitting tolerance, and down here you have also some different view options. So you can select no split view, a split view where you can look at the after and the before of the picture, and also the mirror view where you can see both files side by side. Those views are quite handy to see what will change when you play around with the thresholds. For a simple design like that, edge threshold is not that important. If you go up too high, you can see here that then the background will be merged into the image, so we don't want that. Let me just put the edge threshold to 32 for this instance. The curve fitting tolerance determines how closely the curves of the original picture will get followed. One quite determining point of the edges or of the curves in this graphic are the corners. So here you can see that there are quite sharp corners actually in the original picture. In the vectorized file there are more rounded corners. So you can just play around with the curve fitting tolerance a bit to find the result that you like. And if you have some points like these sharp edges down here, for example, you can also adjust it manually after you converted it to vectors. So when you are happy with the result on the after side, can just click on apply. Then you can see that this layer here has a drop down menu now with all the different curves of the object inside of it. So then you can work on it like with any other curve and adjust it further so that you have the perfect logo. So this is basically the standard process you have to do when vectorizing an image in Affinity. With quite simple logos like this, the main problem in my opinion is the curve fitting, and that you have to maybe manually adjust the edges to your liking. When you look at a more complicated picture like that, make sure that you have the layer selected. If not, the image trace option won't be available, so just select it and then go on vector image trace again. With more complicated pictures like that, you can already see there are a lot of curves trying to pick up the different colors here, so that's a bit of a difficult process if you want to convert a picture like that with not so clear lines and areas into vectors. Like you can humanly see that this should be one color, but it isn't on this side, because if you zoom in a bit here, the colors are not solid colors. The one thing that you can do is to reduce the visible colors inside of the file. You can do that by, for example, using an online tool to decrease the colors in the picture, that you just upload the file that you have, and then you can select how many colors you want. If, for example, select 2, it won't be very nice at the picture. If you take, for example, 25, you can see that the picture basically looks identical to the one that we had before. So then you can just save it, and once it is downloaded, we just open a new file so that we can import it here. And you can already see, if you zoom in, that there are a lot less weird colors there. So if you now try it again, you can again select this file, go on image trace, and you can see that it now does a way better job at selecting the different colors. There are still some areas where it doesn't select the colors too good. Here, for example, it selected the grass field behind the tiger. But you can play around a bit and see if you can fix that. I think there will be too much noise if you try to do it like that, so I would just do it like that and then manually adjust this part of the tiger. And then again play around with the curve fitting tolerance so that you get what you want, and you can hit apply and then have again all the different kind of curves the tiger describes. So then I would just go in here and, for example, use the knife tool to put like that. Now and then recolor it to the other orange and adjust it so that it looks perfectly. It was just a quick fix to show you how you could adjust it. And now for the last part of the video, I'm going to show you how to convert a real image. Here again, there will be the problem that has a lot of different colors that are difficult to find clear lines between. Again, you have to play around a bit with the edge threshold to get close to what you want. For example, when you put it too high, a lot of similar colors will be merged to one. That doesn't really work for this picture, so you would have to put it quite low, and even with that setting, there are some areas that don't get picked up right. So we would have to go into that manually. It also depends on what you're looking for and why you want to convert a picture. If you, for example, just want to get the area of the dog, I think that looks quite good with the settings that we chose right now. So you could go on and work on that, or you can also take the route of reducing the colors as we did before with the tiger graphic. So there are a lot of options to play around, and you have always the option to adjust the curves manually, but you have quite a good starting point with that tool. I hope you liked the video and you learned how to use the image trace tool. If you have any further questions regarding that tool or Affinity or Canva in general, just put that in the comments. I hope I will see you in the next video.